Hello, hi, how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. Um, we got through part of John 19 yesterday, and we're going to have to go through John 19 one part after another, because I'm making these only 10 minutes long because in either phone, that's what I have for space or room is just 10 minutes. And so we got up to verse 12. This is John 19. And I don't want to give you too much at a time. And because 10 minutes is certainly enough. But anyway, it starts out verse 12. From that moment, Pilate kept trying to release him. This is when they were whipping Jesus, and he was trying to get them to, the Jewish people to release Jesus. And they would not allow that. And the crowd, the mob, was out of control. And he only had one centurion and one soldier. So he was outnumbered. They were outnumbered. He really at this point was powerless to know what to do. And so anyway, it says from that moment, Pilate kept trying to release him, but the Jews shouted, "If you release this man, you're not Caesar's friend." Well, isn't that a manipulation thing to do? Anyone who makes himself king opposes Caesar. When Pilate heard these words, he brought Jesus outside. He sat down on the judge's seat in a place called Stone Pavement. In Aramaic, it's Gabbatha. It was the preparation day for the Passover, and it was about noon, and then he told the Jews, "Here is your king." They shouted, "Take him away! Take him away! Crucify him!" Pilate said to them, "Should I crucify your king?" "We have no king but Caesar," the chief priest answered. Then he handed him over to be crucified. Now I wanted to talk to you here about a concept that's in all religious faiths. In our culture today, we call karma. We call it karma. We also say it's sins will find you out. And that God will seek revenge, or God will, avenge us, and he will repay. And it's kind of the same concept. You really have to be careful. Now, you have to think about, how old is this Bible? Really, how old is it? Parts of it are 5,000 years old. The other part, 2,000 years old. How many people have read these words and actually saw their names? This is like a newspaper. It went out worldwide, right? Over and over and over again. Worldwide, down through the centuries. Over and over again. We all hear these words over and over. These people are obviously very condemned. This is following them. This is karma. It's following them down through the centuries, and this stuff that goes on like this. That's why you want to make sure you don't do anything bad that's going to show up in the newspaper headlines or whatever. And yet also something to consider, pastors, when they put together a sermon, are supposed to read the scripture, and then they come up with 3 little stories, and they summarize at the end. No matter how long it is, it's the same pattern. You have a little prologue, you have the scripture, then three little stories, and then a summary. And watch your pastor up at church. He's doing the same thing. We have to come up with these stories, and sometimes we're just like, oh, I don't know what story I'm going to add with this. What story am I going to add with this? I just did it for you. This story has gone on and read over and over again in all the churches, everywhere, for 2,000 years. Also, things that happened to me personally, like it's another story, story number 2. Another story, I was living at Spencer Towers in Rock Island, Illinois, after I moved out of Iowa. And I got, a low-income apartment there. And we always had a tradition of, it was a Sunday night Bible study with potluck. At that time, it was, our little house church was just a Bible study with a potluck, trying to formulate a church. We had it there at Spencer Towers in a big fellowship hall on floor 7. And we drew quite a crowd. We really did. And over the winter, people really appreciated having something to do. Wouldn't you? These are shut-ins. These are elderly people. These are shut-ins. But some were not shut in. Some were younger people. Some were younger people. And there was a woman there who just didn't like me. She was jealous. Like these Sanhedrin, they were jealous of Jesus. She was jealous because she wanted a potluck weekly for a number of years there because she was on some committee and they wouldn't allow it. And I come along, a pastor, and this is one of our traditions. We always had a potluck on Sunday night. So the management said that would be fine. So she would visit our potluck and silently walk through and come back, and then she'd complain to the management. And she did this for a full year. And of course, I'm trying to get her involved. And it's just like, well, this girl's trouble, but let's get her saved. Let's make her a Christian, And so anyway, she decided to go pick on our group, our little church. And I've had my heads together with another pastor who happened to have meetings on Thursday nights there. And he had kind of a little black church going on. Just black people. Mostly old women. Old black ladies. And they would go, and he said it was a Bible study. No, it wasn't. He was preaching a sermon. Come on now. He was preaching a sermon. And anyway, we had our heads together with that whole thing. All of a sudden, the management didn't want us meeting, actually ordered us not to meet anymore. You can't do that. We also have, our American rights. We have a right for assembly. Nobody, no. We have a right for assembly, and we have freedom of religion. And the people there at Spencer Towers said that's the point. They had a right not to have religion around them. Apparently, that was what they meant. I was ecumenical. I'm mainly a teacher, like what I'm talking to you now. I'm a teacher, right? I'm a pastor and a teacher. And so I would hand everybody a Bible, different translations, and then we would go through a whole section, and everybody would read a different section, but different translations. So they're learning something. They're learning something. And I did not teach any doctrine. I asked them what they thought and how they interpreted it. It's pretty much universal. And it ended up after a year, they would not renew my my lease there. And the reason why? Because there were many complaints, that same girl, about our Bible study that was popular. Sounds like what Christ went through, right? So I ended up having to move out. I moved in with a friend, which was a good thing for that time. I was there for a short period of time, just enough time to have a hernia surgery done, and then moved where I am now, which is a Section 8 house. And that's what I can manage on Social Security. This is how old people live. Social Security. But now, see, you have heard this story, and it's going out on YouTube, which is mass media. And eventually it'll go worldwide. It'll get passed around. People will see it. They'll say, you heard the name of the place? You know where? This is not good publicity for them. It is not good publicity. And of course, I have used this over and over again. Discrimination against the church. We're seeing more of it. We're seeing more of it. What do we say about that? Well, it's the devil again. It's a theme, our little theme. It's the devil again. But, because of that, I have a story to tell you for an illustration for my sermons. And not only is it going, with YouTube, but it went in the newspaper. Okay. But anyway, that is enough for today. And I will see you. Bye-bye.